right, big win this weekend for the Cincinnati Bengals over the Tennessee Titans. Cincinnati's going crazy. So why don't we go to Cincinnati and find out what's exactly going on there with a good friend of mine, Kelly Rippin from WLWT morning show there. She's on maternity leave. So I really appreciate you doing this, Kelly. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. It's so good to see you. First of all, how are you? How's baby and how's dad?
Everyone is good. Baby is currently watching shapes bounce around the TV. 2 months old, might as well start that off early, watching screens. He's good. Dad is good. They just got over COVID. I've been okay the whole time, so very grateful for that. Maternity leave's been a little wild. I've never had this much time to sleep in. Not that I'm sleeping at all, but it's been fun. It's been great. I'm still looking forward to going back to work, though, so I'm excited about that. But I'm good. I miss everybody down there. If we hadn't been dealing with COVID, we actually would have been in Tennessee, but in Knoxville, not in Nashville. So I am forever tied to the state of Tennessee, which I'm very happy about.
Well, I'm sure. When do you go back to work?
2 weeks, right before the Super Bowl. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, all right. So let me get your thoughts about, you've been in Cincinnati for a while now, to see what's going on from a football team that, Kelly, the last 2 years was awful. To see them stand one win away from the Super Bowl, how's the city taking this?
It goes way beyond the last 2 years. So I worked in Cincinnati before actually I came down to Nashville to Fox 17, and then had to move on from Fox 17 and ended up back in Cincinnati. And it's a great town. It's a very cool city. It's another river city. These fans, though, are losing their minds, and rightfully so. This team has been here since the 60s. They haven't won a playoff game in 33.
Yes.
No. Is it 33 years? I would say it's close to that. And I was actually at the last game when they played the Steelers, and they were it was 2015, I think, and the heartbreak, like you could just feel it through the entire city. I don't know if anybody's going to be working today, because for the next 5 days, these people, they're planning their trip to Kansas City. They are traveling in droves. They are just unable to focus. And you get it. This is one of those towns that they live and die by their professional sports teams, because they've been here for so long. They were family traditions for decades and decades, and they have been, especially the Bengals. These fans have been disappointed time after time after time for so many different reasons, whether it's a player that really just kind of is not nice to the team or doesn't seem to get along with the team, to ownership, to not being able to watch their own games on TV on occasion. So, this city is going insane, and you completely understand when you think about all I've been through.
Oh, and also, I might have seen you tweet this out this weekend. It might have been you, but the tradition now that your football coach with the Bengals is going to these bars after the game and handing out game balls. He started something that's not going to stop, Kelly.
No. And it's so, because it really is these local businesses that have continued to say, hey, we're airing the game. And honestly, for a long time, there was a whole thing where they were trying to get more people to get to the game. So for a long time, they were not necessarily blacking out the games here, but they were trying to drive people into the stadium. But the people were ticked. They weren't getting any kind of product that was putting on winning football, and they were getting frustrated. So they were essentially just having to go to bars or whatever. But these bars have really driven the excitement, especially this year and then during the off season. Obviously, Joe Burrow was hurt last year, which really stunk, because he has brought a fire to this city that is unbelievable, and he seems like a genuinely good kid. So I think that's the other reason people are like, oh my gosh, we can get behind this kid and support him. And he is, how many times was he sacked on Saturday? And they still won the game. It was insane. And if you think about what he could do if they could get an offensive line, it could be very dangerous, which, as someone who also roots for another team in that division, is a little terrifying.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Did you think in your wildest dreams back in August that your station and everybody around you would be planning for a possible Super Bowl trip to Los Angeles in February?
No, and here's the thing, they say it every year. They get really excited, and that does tend to happen for the Bengals. They do really well in the early part of the season, and then the term here is they bungle it. It falls off, and it happens so often, and it's so frustrating for the fans here. And so, I mean, I think a lot of people are going to say, "I told you so. I tweeted it. I put it out there." Well, yeah, you've done that for the last 33 years. So you put it out there in the world every year. One of these years, you're going to be right, but no, I don't think anybody expected it, especially when they did draft Jamar Chase instead of more offensive linemen. I think a lot of people were going, we can't afford to have Burrow hurt again. But that's been an unbelievable union, which they already knew that because of LSU. But yeah, it's definitely not, I don't think, anything people expected, but they are going to ride that train as long as they can. I have a feeling we're going to see a ton of Bengals fans in Kansas City this weekend.
Oh, absolutely. Speaking of Joe Burrow, around Cincinnati, I got to think, Kelly, he's Mick Jagger. I mean, he is the rock star.
Joe Cool. I mean, he is on every T-shirt. He wore those pink sunglasses. I think I saw hundreds of people wearing them this weekend. It was ridiculous. Like, he can do no wrong, which is a lot of pressure, but he seems to be handling it very well. He doesn't really, you don't hear about him going out. You don't hear about him doing, stupid stuff. You don't hear about him making headlines or anything like that. I think he just kind of buckles down, hangs out. He said, like, he is a leader. He's going to get this team where they need to go. And, I think it seems that he's handling it very well, and the team is looking at him, which is awesome. They are a young team too, which is, again, dangerous if you are watching around the division.
Isn't it just crazy how winning football games and a winning football team unites a city? I mean, we're all so divided in this world, but I got to think right now, Bengals fans, either side of the political aisle, are all one right now, and it's a beautiful thing.
It is. And honestly, I think everyone obviously would love to have this opportunity, but I think the city really needed it right now. I adore and love Nashville. That was a hard game for me to watch because I'm like, oh man, like, who do I cheer for in this? Like, I love Cincinnati. I love Tennessee. It'd be really great to see the Titans do well as well again. But, selfishly, I want to keep covering the Bengals in the Super Bowl because, again, I'll go right back just before the Super Bowl. But, Nashville, you have so many people from so many different places. Cincinnati, these people have been born here, raised here, left for school. A lot of people come back. It's a weird town that people just keep coming back to because it's a great city. So yeah, I think it's fun to see everybody get hyped about this, and now to have it really pay off. I think a lot of people heard the hype and they were kind of like, all right, like, we'll see what happens. But now it's happening, and it's all over the city.
What's the last question? I'll let you go. And I really appreciate you doing this, Kelly. What's the tavern that Boomer Esiason keeps talking about?
Oh, Mount Lookout Tavern. It is over in Mount Lookout is the name of the neighborhood. But they got a game ball. I think, I'm not sure if they got a game ball or if he was just suggesting that they get a game ball. But yeah, it's a great tiny little spot in a small neighborhood. But these small neighborhoods are getting featured. It's not just like the big bar that's right across from the stadium, which the Holy Grail has done huge things to support the Bengals. So they absolutely got the recognition they deserve by getting a game ball. But they're heading into some of these neighborhood bars and handing out game balls, and people are stunned whenever these team members or team leadership show up with a ball, and it's very cool to see. It's very cool to see.
I'm immensely jealous of you because I've been on this ride before with the Titans many years ago.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic, and I hope you guys go all the way to the Super Bowl because the journey is incredible. So, Kelly, thank you. We missed you in Nashville. Hope you'll come back one day. We'll talk to you soon.
Yes, absolutely. I hopefully back to see you soon. I was looking for your autograph, Joe. I had it somewhere at my desk. I just can't find your Big Joe autograph. So
I'll find it
for the next time.
Thank you, Kelly. You'll be getting two next time.
Yes.
Hey, thank you. You guys are beautiful. Thank you, and much luck and success to the baby and everything else. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Kelly Rippin, anchor from WLWT and WLWT in Cincinnati. Enjoying the ride. Enjoy this ride because it's amazing.